eventually, after preaching, we asked if there's any person that we can pray for and lay hands on. And then we prayed for one or two people, and God healed them. And the chief was still sitting, and eventually they asked us, but will you pray for him? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And they helped him up to stand, and he couldn't stand up by himself, so they assisted him, and he stood up, and he said there's something wrong with his back. He's got a back injury. And I started praying, and I was just standing at his side praying for him. I didn't lay my hands on him, but I prayed for the healing, and I said, test it. And so he reversed a little bit, and he went to the couch, and he went to sit down slowly, and they helped him. He sat down, and I was like, okay, that's not healing. And as he sat down, I touched him, if I remember correctly, and I felt a harness on his back. So he had a very serious harness that was strapped to him, all the way from the top to the bottom. And the next moment, the Holy Spirit just comes over me, or through me. You name it what you want. And I command him, yes, I did, command him to stand up and take off the brace. So they helped him up, and I said, take it off. He takes off his shirt, and he responds. I don't know why. He takes off this whole massive thing, and I said, test it again. And he went to sit, and he sits, and he looks at me, and he stands up slowly, and he sits, and he stands up, and he sits, and he's completely healed. Completely healed. 2 years later, they sent me a present from Madagascar to say thank you. He's been healed from that moment. And at that point, it was massive back surgery that he needed. He couldn't walk without it. And so, in this setting, while this is happening, there's a little girl. There's a little girl sitting at a table on her arms like this and crying. And I don't know why. And eventually, when I was finished with him, I went to sit next to her, and I asked the translator to come and sit, and I asked her what's wrong. And she started explaining something, and I could hear from what she says is that she's given her life to Jesus. And that broke my heart. And God so clearly that day said that this is the most powerful supernatural thing that you will ever see on this earth. This, when a dead man walks again. That is resurrection power. And we should treasure it when a person comes to Christ, truly comes to Christ.